Hello, Aries, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. We are looking at all three sides of this connection. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. We are looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle, this middle section, looking at what is the purpose of this connection, what is the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages, which we'll jump into in just a second. I do have a different tarot deck that we'll be using for each side of this connection, and in addition to this round of readings, I've added an overall theme for this reading, which we'll dive into in just a second as well. And then I have the advice card already shuffled, the advice deck already shuffled that I'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. On that note, these energies can absolutely be swapped. So if you resonate more with the energy to my right than to my left, just know that's totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point of these readings is to take what helps and leave what does not. All right, Aries, on your side of this connection, you have someone has unmet needs with the death in reverse. And that someone, Aries, is you. However, I feel as if you kind of took on the burden of that because of some reason, which I feel like we'll see in the reading, because you didn't want things to change. I feel like you didn't or don't want this connection to end, and so you were willing to accept having unmet needs for the sake of the connection, or are. Again, take it as it resonates. This could be a past connection. I often do pull past connections since it's the connection you're needing to learn the most from right now, which might not be connections that are currently active in your life, but it could be. Now, this person, they have overstepped boundaries with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. I feel as if they overstepped your boundaries by not reciprocating your needs in some way, shape, or form. So we'll see what's going on there and what they're dealing with. Now, I literally went, when I pulled this card, because the overall energy for the reading, the overall theme for the reading is boundaries. And so this is a lot about, well, boundaries for you and in between this connection. Now, in between this, you have some people never change with the Two of Cups in reverse. I do feel as if there's a distance in this connection. Maybe this connection is in separation. Maybe, you know, there's just kind of an emotional distance, like you guys are together, but not on the same page at all. Either way, I feel like through this situation, you're coming to this acceptance of the fact that sometimes people don't change. But I will say, I feel like there's more to it than that. I feel like this person isn't changing and hasn't changed, and it's been very frustrating for you, but there's been a part of you that's holding on to maybe they will, or you wanting them to for some reason. So we'll see what Tarot has to say about that. Let's start, Aries, with your side of this connection. Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. This is Aries side of this connection. This is for Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with, please. Well, you have the Death in reverse. Death in reverse with the Two of Swords in reverse. So you know on some level here, Aries, or have known for a while, that your needs aren't being met in this connection. However, the Two of Swords in reverse is kind of an energy of like, and this might sound harsh, but let me say it and then elaborate on it, an energy of not doing anything about it. Kind of like, you know that something needs to change, you know a choice needs to be made, but not making that choice. And I ultimately feel like it's coming from a place of, well, I don't want to lose this. I don't want things to end. There's a lot associated with this ending that I don't want to face, you know, which makes perfect sense. Oftentimes, you know, we will avoid doing what's best for us because we fear the consequences of that sort of action. And so I do feel like there's been a part of you that has been accepting, again, having your needs unmet for the sake of, say, the connection working, or the sake of not upsetting this person, or the sake of something that you are prioritizing ahead of yourself. And so I do feel, I'm actually going to take this one since we already had the death in reverse. I do feel like there is more going on here than you might think. This is Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. One more. Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. This is for Aries side of this connection. Hey, can you go lay down? Aries side of this connection. I've done several readings today, and my dogs are tired of me sitting here. Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. They've had their outside time, though. You're holding on to the potential of them reciprocating. You're holding on to the Six of Pentacles. I feel like what's happening is you're holding on to what you are getting from this person. Oftentimes it feels a little bit like breadcrumbing. Now, I know that can be associated with like narcissistic behavior. I'm not necessarily saying that's what you're dealing with, but sometimes people will give you a little bit to keep you hanging on, even though they know that they're not necessarily providing you with what it is that you deserve. Because they have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, right? So I feel like you're holding on to what you do receive, which I feel like is very bare minimum, out of hopes that eventually with the Justice, it'll become what it is that you deserve. But I feel like that hasn't happened. That's why you have some people never change, right? I don't want this message to come across as like this person is never going to change, but sometimes we have to learn to see a person in a situation as they show us to be, instead of as we hope it can be, or through the, looking at it through the potential, which is a really difficult thing to do. And I talk about that in a lot of my readings. I think all of us have had a tendency to look at someone through the lens of what they could be, what, their connection could be if they just stepped up, if they just healed, if they just learned to love themselves, if they just XYZ, right? But the more that we hold out for the potential of what something could be, the more we're sacrificing what we deserve today for that potential. And then the universe comes around, and the universe provides exactly as we affirm. And when we're investing in less than it is that we deserve, well, we're going to receive less than what it is that we deserve. So a lot to take in here. All right, Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Oh no, I don't want that card to fall. This is a very high table, and when I have to pick a card up, I have to get out of the seat to do it. Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Okay, there we go. This is for Aries side of this connection, please. You're accepting less than what you deserve for the sake of stability. That's what it is. I knew it was for the sake of something. It's for the sake of stability. The Lovers in reverse with the Four of Pentacles. I want more here. Maybe because this relationship has been a part of your life for so long. Maybe you share finances. Maybe you have kids together. And it's like you know that your needs aren't being met, but you're afraid to give up that stability for the potential of having them met, which just keeps leading you to this Ten of Swords. Because I think you have this hope that things are going to change here. Because obviously things aren't all bad, right? If they were all bad, you probably would be like, I'm out of here. But since they're not all bad, it's easy to focus on that shiny, good potential, right? So accepting less than what you deserve for the sake of stability. Again, I get it. We've been there. Maybe, again, finances. You share a home together. It could be many, many different things. Or just like they've been a part of your life for so long that it's hard to imagine your life without them. But here's what you have to understand. You don't have to sacrifice one for the other. You are deserving of having both. You're deserving of having your needs met, having the love you deserve, having the relationship that you desire, not necessarily with the person that you think you want, but the relationship that you desire and the stability. Because that Oftentimes we kind of think that we have to sacrifice one or the other, but that's never true. You can have both. Now, do you feel deserving of both? That's kind of the key here, right? Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. So you're stuck. I feel like you don't know what to do. You know you need to do something, because there's the Lovers in reverse. You know you're not getting what you deserve, or at least you knew for a long time. Again, take it as it resonates, but yet you're stuck. You're stuck on it. You don't want things to change. You don't want to lose this stability. You're holding on to what could be, to the potential. If we could just get here, if they could just get a new job, or I don't know, whatever the case is, right? There's always reasons. But yeah, there's the thing, Aries. Your soul is tired. You're burnt out. You're tired of how things are. You want things to change, but yet you don't really want things to change. You want things to change, but you want things to change the way you want things to change, right? Which, again, we've all been there. It's completely understandable, but there is a bigger picture that's needing to be seen here, because you are lacking boundaries. You're not standing up for what it is that you need and deserve in this connection. And I feel like that has led you to, and maybe you're not standing up for what you need and deserve because maybe there's a part of you that doesn't think that you do deserve it. Maybe there's a part of you that thinks that would be asking for too much. Maybe that's a part of you that thinks that would be selfish. I often get comments, not often, but they do happen more than not often. I don't know. That'll be like, oh, well, isn't, putting my needs ahead of the needs of others considered selfish? And I mean, okay, putting this into perspective, yes, if you are only solely selfishly looking out for your needs, regardless of how it impacts other people, then yeah, that is selfish. But on the flip side, if you are constantly sacrificing your needs for the sake of others, that's not good either. There's a middle ground. And that's where you have to understand that, when you're in relationships that are reciprocal, sacrifices are being made on both sides. Both people are willing to sacrifice. Both people are willing to meet the other where they need to be met. And in this connection, Aries, I feel like you have been the one doing a lot of sacrificing. You have been the one doing a lot of compromising. And I feel like this person, not all they've done, but majority of what they've done is accept that sacrifice, accept that compromise without returning that. And so I do feel like, I don't necessarily feel like they're a bad person. We'll see when we get there. I just kind of feel like they have maybe a little bit of a selfish mentality, but we'll see when we get there. Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Ten of Cups with the Ace of Swords. Aries, I think what this is saying, because there's the Death in reverse again. This Death in reverse is stalking this reading. There is a need to get very clear with yourself on what it is that you want when it comes to your Ten of Cups. When it comes to, I'm not talking about an idealized version of a relationship. Nobody's perfect. No one's ever going to be perfect. But what do you want when it comes to your Ten of Cups? Do you want someone who's willing to put in as much effort as you are? Do you want someone who's willing to sacrifice just as much as you are? Do you want someone who's willing to meet you where you are? What do you want when it comes to your Ten of Cups? Because I don't feel like it's who this person is now. I feel like it's who you see that they could be. And I feel like that is where there's this disconnect, is you know what you want. You know what you want, and I feel like you also know that you deserve that. But then at the same time, there's a part of you that's accepting less than what you deserve because you're wanting it to be through this connection, through this person. Yet time and time again, I feel like they continue to let you down. And so I feel like there's a need to get really clear with yourself on, am I investing in this person and in this connection for what things could be and for the potential? Or am I investing in this connection and this person for what it is today? If this person were to never change, if this connection were to never change and things stayed exactly the same, I'm not necessarily saying that they should, because I think everyone should be striving to grow, and especially in your relationships. But say that, for the sake of example, that things in this connection never changed and they stayed exactly the same, and you were, this is how things always were. Would you be happy, or would you be disappointed, always wanting things to change? People can only meet you where they're at today. People can only love you to the extent they love themselves today. And wanting and investing in someone for where they could be tomorrow is investing in someone that doesn't exist. And it's a hard freaking truth. And trust me, I've been there. And I'm not sitting here saying, kick this person to the side, or anything like that. But the best way to tell whether or not somebody is meant to be in your life is setting boundaries with them, is standing up for what it is you know that you need and deserve. And you are going to be met with one of two things. You're going to be met with someone who is willing to say, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to overstep your boundaries. I am absolutely willing to meet you there. Or you're going to have someone that's going to get defensive. They're going to say that you're asking for too much. They're going to say that they're not capable of it. And the people that do not respect your boundaries are people that benefit the most from you not having them. And that, again, is a hard truth. But that's also the way that we are able to see clearly whether or not someone is willing to meet us where we're willing to meet them. So getting clear with yourself, and not holding on, no longer investing in potential, but investing in who someone shows you that they are today. This is for Aries side of this connection. This is for Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Aries side of this connection, please. A little dog. She hurt her leg, so she's sitting in her kennel right here, so she wasn't running around, and she's dreaming, making little dreamy puppet noises. Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Yeah, because you're frustrated. I mean, there you are, Aries. Queen of Wands. Whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. Temperance in reverse. You're frustrated. You're frustrated. You're tired of this. Your soul is tired of this. You want things to change, but you don't want things to change. Trust me, I've been there too. There's never blanket statement, never any judgment in my readings. I do try to speak from a place of experience, so never ever any judgment coming from me. I feel like you're frustrated that your expectations aren't being met. And I don't want you to lower your expectations thinking that you're asking for too much. That is the worst thing that you could do for yourself. Hold on to your expectations. Know that you are deserving of those expectations. Not unrealistic expectations like someone being perfect, and never messing up and so on and so forth. I mean the expectation of you receiving what it is that you give. The expectation of reciprocal love and respect and effort. That is absolutely understandable and absolutely valid, and you deserve that. So don't lower your expectation to meet this person where they're at. Set your boundaries and say, I need you to meet me where I'm at. And maybe they will, maybe they won't, but that's not within your control. What's in your control is you setting the boundary. This person's energy toward Aries, please. You have overstepped boundaries with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. This is this person's energy toward Aries, please. This person's energy toward Aries, please. One more. This person's energy toward Aries. Okay. This isn't a message for everyone. I'm going to read the specific message and then kind of talk about it in a vague way. This person's job makes them emotionally unavailable. It's like they're more committed to their work than they are to the connection. That's not for everyone. That's for some people. It's very specific though, so I don't know why. Anyway, this person is dealing with emotional unavailability. Now, with the Eight of Pentacles here, I feel it's something that they know. Yeah, it's like they're investing in this connection. They're working on this connection, their effort in this connection is coming from a place of emotional unavailability. That seems... but I don't know how that's possible. They're working on the connection, but it's coming from a place of emotional unavailability. Okay, hang on. I want more on this. Eight of Pentacles with a Page of Cups in reverse. This person's energy toward Aries. This person's energy toward Aries, please. They want it to work. Okay. Working on a connection isn't something that happens, well, it is something that happens outside of yourself. You can work on the connection, but working on the connection requires self-reflection, right? So this person might be trying to do and say the right things, but they're not necessarily working on what's going on within, the source of the emotional unavailability. Because they want it to work, but like aren't willing to actually do the work. That's why it's confusing. This person's energy toward Aries. This person's energy toward Aries. This person's energy toward Aries, please. On a level, this person is afraid of losing you. I don't feel like they want to lose this. But that's what's so interesting. They don't want to lose this, but they don't want to do the work to not. It's kind of the mirror of they want things to change, but they're not willing to make the changes necessary. It's that same kind of mirror that you're dealing with here. Because yeah, it's like they're anxious about this connection falling apart. They don't want that. They definitely don't want that. But yet they continue to overstep boundaries. This person's energy toward Aries, please. This person's energy toward Aries, please. One more. This person's energy toward Aries, please. This person's energy toward Aries. This is so interesting. They have a lot of love for this. They see this as a very abundant connection, but then they're avoiding doing anything about it. But why? Okay, sure, but why? This person's energy toward Aries. Two of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, but what's going... It's like they don't... It's like they're not willing to make certain sacrifices or something. Certain sacrifices, and it could be their job, that could be something, since we started the reading with that. It's like they don't want to lose you, but they don't want to sacrifice something. That just clarified the message. I didn't add on to it with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Just kind of like the negative changes happening in this connection. Like they don't want things to change. They don't want to lose this. They don't want to lose this, but they don't want to change. You don't want to lose this, but you want them to change. That's what it's coming down to. So, I mean, right there, that doesn't align. Someone's got to make sacrifices. But the thing is, Aries, you've made enough of those. So it's time for this person to start stepping up and making sacrifices if they want this to work. But it just kind of feels like they're not willing. This person's energy toward Aries. This person's energy toward Aries, please. One more. This person's energy toward Aries, please. Six of Cups. Same Six of Pentacles in reverse. They want things to be like they always have been. They want things to be like they always have been. I feel like that's the biggest thing. But you're like your soul's tired of how things have been. Yet they, of course, they're benefiting from that, right? Like, if you're dealing with a giver and a taker, givers have limits. You only have so much you can give. You only have so much energy that you can expend on other people before you're like, I'm drained, I'm done, I can't do this anymore. Takers, however, they don't have a limit. And if this person is able to overstep boundaries and take, energy from you while getting kind of whatever it is that they need, why would they change? That's great. They get to have whatever they want at the expense of you giving it to them without them having to return anything back to you. So to me, it kind of feels like someone who wants to, what is that saying? Can't have your cake and eat it too, which I've never really fully understood. But that's kind of what I feel like they're at. They're like, well, things have always been a certain way in this connection. You've always given, I've always taken. What's the big deal? And you're like, well, the big deal is I can't freaking do it anymore. I'm tired. I deserve more than that. And I feel like they're like, well, I don't want to lose you, but I also don't want to really change. And I mean, that has nothing to do with you. That's their own freaking problem. That's their own selfishness getting in the way. This person's energy toward Aries. This person's energy toward Aries. And pay attention to somebody telling you they're going to change and not changing, and the recurrence of that cycle, because that's a tough one to get stuck in. All right, this person's energy toward Aries. They want to maintain the control in this connection. Emperor in reverse with the Nine of Cups. And yes, I know Emperor is Aries energy, but that's not the way I'm reading it with this message. They want, because kind of Nine of Cups being like emotional desires, like desire. They desire maintaining control in this connection. Getting to the point where I'm not really loving this energy towards you, Aries. This person's energy toward Aries, clarifying this message. I want more on this. Maintaining control of this connection. Maintaining the control. Again, people who, that's the truth you're needing to see. People who don't respect your boundaries benefit the most from you not having any. They don't want to lose you, but they don't want to respect your boundaries. And that is a major red flag. That's the truth you're needing to see. This person's energy toward Aries. Last one for this person's energy toward Aries, please. One more. Last one for this person's energy toward Aries. This person's energy toward Aries, please. This person's energy toward Aries, maybe. This is more a message for you. It's about their energy, but it's a message for you. The universe is asking you to do some introspection here, to shine a light on why you are so afraid of losing this connection. Because losing lack isn't loss, right? Now, you're a human being having real human experiences with real relationships and real feelings and emotions attached to that. So please don't think this is me saying that I think that this is an easy thing to do. But yeah, because there you are again, Queen of Wands. Taking your expectations out of the picture, how you think things should be, how you expect things to go, and looking at things as they are. Why are you so afraid of losing this connection to the extent that you are willing to accept having your needs unmet? Do you think nothing better will ever come along? Do you think this is as good as it gets? Do you think you'll never be loved if this person isn't the one to do it? Do you think that you wouldn't survive financially? Do you think you wouldn't end up having what it is that you need? What is the reason? Maybe there's multiple. There probably is multiple. But start doing some introspection on that. Trying to focus less on what you can't control and more on what you can, and understanding yourself and the dynamic a little bit more, because you can't keep going the way that you have. Aries, you're tired. Your soul is tired. You cannot keep doing this anymore. I'm not sitting here, again, I'm not sitting here saying up and walk away, but I'm sitting here saying start figuring out what it is that you want, knowing that you are deserving of what it is that you desire in your relationships, and then start standing up for that. Saying no to what doesn't align with that. Setting boundaries. Boundaries is the overall theme. Boundaries is obviously, you have the word boundaries twice in just the overall energy. So it's a big, big thing. Just try to understand the bigger picture a little bit more instead of just allowing yourself to stay stuck in this cycle, because staying stuck in this cycle, if you do what you've always done, you're always going to get the same thing, right? You're going to get to what you've always gotten. So what do you need to do differently to get what it is that you need and desire? All right, Mike died, luckily, at the very, very end of this reading. But we are going to hop on over to the extended. You have Some People Never Change with the Two of Cups in reverse. I'm going to pull 9 different messages looking at what is the purpose of this connection and what is the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. As always, Aries, thank you so very much for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Aries.